We spend a lot of time in our lives looking for love, wanting to be loved, doing things to win love. Our whole life can be obsessed with love. Our culture is obsessed with love, the loss of love, and our culture is obsessed with buying love and what you have to do to get love. Well, Ram Dass reminds us that love is not attained from external sources outside of ourselves. Love already exists within us. Believe that love is within you. Jesus said this himself, love yourself as your neighbor. You have to learn to love, to share love. You have to learn to love, to experience self-compassion until you experience yourself fully loved, fully alive, and without fear. And the second important lesson is the overthinking. Overthinking, we worry too much. We are anxious, we are stressed. We overthink situations. I'm a big overthinker, and this is a big lesson for me. Stop thinking. Eckhart Tolle says it. Thinking is addictive. It's the biggest addiction in the world. We're obsessed with trying to control the future. We're obsessed with thinking out scenarios, planning, organizing our lives up to the retirement, and not living in the present. So stop thinking. Become present to the present moment. Stop thinking. Stop worrying. Stop obsessing. Be present to yourself and begin to practice self-compassion. All the lessons from mindfulness summed up, I think, in self-compassion, self-care. We've got to start caring for ourselves. We must nurture ourselves. We're constantly worn out, burnt out, broken, traumatized by love, by the broken love, by the failure of love, by disappointments in love. No, stop thinking. Be present to now, and you'll be present to the love within. And the third lesson is about death. Death is our teacher. We're all going to die, and until you wake up to the idea of death, before death wakes up to you, you might waste some time worrying, thinking about the future, and trying to seek love rather than be love. By waking up to your death before you die, you can begin to live fully. You can begin to live freely, begin to live without fear, begin to live out of that love that is within you, to share that love in actions that is beneficial to others by serving others. Ram Dass, as just a quick summary of who Ram Dass was, he was a guy who grew up in New Hampshire, from a Jewish family, went to Harvard, became a professor there, studied psychedelics with Dr. Tim Leary, and together they explored the power of psychedelics to open consciousness. However, this rattled the cages in Harvard at the time, and they were sacked. Soon after, Ram Dass went to India and met his guru, Neem Karoli Baba, who told him to love everybody and to serve everybody. That's all he had to do. And it took a while for Ram Dass to get this, but when he got it, then he came back to America and taught that for the rest of his life. Love everybody, serve everybody. As he got older, he had a stroke in the 90s. He called it being stroked by God. But that really awakened him to a deeper sense of being, a deeper sense of purpose, which was about love, that love that was within him all of the time. And his last phase, he talked a lot about death. He walked people home. He accompanied people in death in the transition. And he taught us a lesson about life, that if we don't wake up to our death before we die, we lose a lot of opportunities for love. Purpose of life is to love. Love is freedom, to be free, to be liberated, to share that liberation with others, to realize that death is not the end. It's a transition into consciousness, source, God, collective spirit, universal love, all of those things. Whatever your tradition is, I respect you and wish you well. And this video is purely to share with you my passion, my love for Ram Dass. I discovered him only 2 years ago on a podcast, and I listen to his podcast regularly. He's funny, he's articulate, just so easy to listen to. He understands our culture in a way that helps you to maybe loosen the bonds of some of those concepts that you may have in your head that are not bringing you liberation or freedom or love. And finally, to realize that we have a short life. Let's live that life fully. And I want to share these lessons with you so you can share them with others. And I'll see you in a video very soon.
Quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'oria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più frai quei pennacchini, quel cappello, quella chioma.